Okay, he's
Oh,
spotted out. So
risky.
cat's out the bag. Bucky's back in the pocket. Off we trot.
Verno hoping to catch him with his stun, but it just goes a little short. While all this noise is being made, though, and the Teo is showing presence towards A, it's an MIBR intending on hitting.
He's playing the funny
site,
spot.
hoping that that initiator pressure
Oh.
rotates, but it hasn't.
Okay, the fast lane gets Aspas in
Wow.
straight. Wayward, he finds one.
Wow,
Leaf is
Leaf,
punched up.
of course.
Crowds a peacock on these boxes.
Oh my god, and he's alive.
FedExing them out of the map. And Verno and Artazine with 2 stingers under extreme duress, under covering fire from this Odin.
They're getting pummeled.
Have got to extricate themselves.
Oh,
What the fuck? The CZ on the flank?
Cleans them up. This defensive side is just a Lotus masterclass. At no point are MIBR getting into a site where they are at an advantage.
Pocket AK?
Running into multiple players with great setups here. Leaf tucked in the corner on the box. It doesn't even matter that Valen goes down early because he's in that position. Trent rotates in, sets up the crossfire for Waterfall. They have delay utility from main. They're being swarmed from behind. It's so excellent.
And they've conditioned
Pause.
that Valorant is often the solo player on that side. It's a fast lane thrown up by Aspas that makes it impossible for MIBR to see that box, let alone check it properly. The perfect storm works against MIBR and they're swept away. And yeah, a justified timeout now causes them been able to get the guns back in hand.
They are early on definitely making you believe that their loss on this map the other day certainly was just a one and done, and that will never be happening again because this gameplay on defense so far is really stellar. That being said, though, we still need to get them on attack because yesterday, that is where the real struggles came in. But honestly, at this rate, what are they going to need on attack? 2 rounds? The way that they're playing, they might not need many to get over the finish line.
Again, it's the same question marks, the same questions levied at the same individual. It's Aspas on the Neon. Can they really get this guy going? He's fast, he hits these sides very quickly, but G2 are never rattled by this. They've always got a contingency, a protocol to deal with that bat out of hell that flies at them every round.
This is going to be a force up from MIBR.
Is this finals? Is lower finals?
Ultimates could maybe even see out of the
What are you guys
timeout.
doing?
Cortezia use that from the shadows to get behind the defensive team on C. G2 are intent on fighting forward.
Oh man.
Shaw wants to get that dimensional drift. He's going to be suppressed. Can't teleport away.
Bot line comes in, but do they know there's another play here? I'm not sure.
No way.
Aspas runs past.
Oh my god, that was about to be a movie.
Doing the most. And it's an unreasonable impact to have at C after being stunned up.
Stunned and suppressed. He can't gate crash away. He's stuck
He
there.
can shoot, brother. That's all he needs to do. Just squeeze the trigger finger. And MIBR now are cut adrift, lost at sea.
God, that is MIBR getting nightmare flashbacks to what Zekin did to them on Yoru in positions like that yesterday. Succumb to so many multi-kills from their opposition on this map.
And again, it's Aspas who tries to get running literally early and then gets cut down. Late re-explore there for G2. Verno is not ready for it. Better be saving these boys.
60 HP for Arts and Shenum is pushed up very far towards
Aspas
A.
clear something challenge impossible?
Only
How
chance
dare
to
you?
get his first on the board right now onto Trent, but it's not looking likely. Sprayed down to
30
58.
seconds left.
Hit by the special delivery and they didn't hold the spice. He's feeling it.
How fucking dare you say some shit like that?
22 seconds remaining. Do MIBR even try to get into the site at this point, or do they hope that they can just save the guns and move on to the next round with
Look at them being
That is the
corralled.
choice.
They are being
10
encircled.
seconds left.
You know, G2 don't have the greatest economy at the moment, despite being in a large lead. The rounds have come down to 1 or 2 players surviving.
Derek knows Troll, how much time do you think you need to go pro in Valorant? I need 3 months in the lab.
Spam and Shenum goes down.
Okay.
Guys, my time is done, bro. Okay?
Now again,
Like, obviously I can do it, but I don't got that hunger in me, dude. I've done it. I've did my time, bro. I've served my fucking time in the cell.
Locked in on Valen, running away back towards
7
the
years
site.
of heart and soul, dude.
That
7,
they
was it
pay
7
no
years?
mind to the potential of Jaw to be staying there.
Got your get back.
He's just having so much fun. I don't have fun when I play.
this is
It's the
G2
truth.
conditioning. Like now,
Well, usually.
there's a second player playing off that Omen.
Okay, they're doing it again. 2 players pushing.
3.
Oh, Jaw, but he's
3.
shut down. It's the trade by Valen.
Big investment here for G2. It's got to have to pay off. Artazine stuck in that corner. Doesn't have a way to get out except smoking himself off, or getting smoked off.
I mean, to be fair, this is
Able to get
G2's
out.
like insane
Trent.
map that only EG beat them on.
Chenom through the wall. Trent hit the stand up.
So, like, this is probably just a 13-3 go next.
Up in 2s and 3s.
Inferno and Arts in the last two remaining, swung on by Jonah, but he is denied of a kill, and it's down to the 2 versus 2, 2v1.
Crispy with it is
Where's
Valorant,
he
but he is cut
re-tilted?
down. It's Leaf.
Wait, how does this round
The
close? I
one
thought it was
player
over.
you do not want to have to clutch against his up-and-comer, cerebral IGL in Artazine.
Look at the amount of angles that Artson has to be concerned
Oh
about.
my God, timing. He walked in.
From anywhere.
What?
What a shot! What a clutch! MIBR getting a
Damn.
much-needed second round on the board.
Damn,
Desperately.
damn.
G2 committing a lot
Damn.
to that C fight. This was the round, I thought it would be the one out of the timeout, but the one after, where Cortezia went for the from the shadows teleport behind the enemy team. He immediately goes down off that play. It was read by G2. They win the fight over towards Mound.
At least, like,
And
nah.
Artson brings them a
There's no way
desperately
that's
needed
me.
clutch. He goes off on map 1 Haven, and he's going off for them on map 2 Lotus. This is the depth of talent on MIBR on display. They have
Look at the damage.
a roster full of players who have the potential to be the star on any given day.
But I think
Oh, I
they'd
like
like
the
them
util.
all to be firing at the same time. That's
Not ready
happening,
for
though.
that.
Okay, Lee takes his chances there. Aspas able to bring him down, and any chance of reprisal cut off. G2 throwing Armageddon in the way. Verno has his build up in this round, and the Valorant takes a timing.
Wow.
Okay, it's
Good
messy, very
paranoia.
messy.
Shenum?
Jonah P is the last one standing with the Odin. No armor
Wow.
to speak of.
Damn.
No lifeblood in his veins.
Can't
The
be mad at
back-to-back?
G2 for trying to force the issue there when MIBR were
The
just
util is
congested
insane, bro.
in
I'm not gonna lie. The
Baby
util
Door.
from both
And
teams.
they were certainly not the favorites.
just
to
the
trade
util
that
meta,
out in their
man.
favor, but they did. Aspas tucked in that corner. He gets his first kill on Leaf. Trent wanted to trade it, couldn't do it.
One enemy remaining.
G2 just want so desperately to get the kills while they're encircled.
And this is like a fastball B hit that MIBR were mixing in every now and then against Sentinels. It's one of their more successful attack side plays.
Out of that timeout call, MIBR have rallied back 2 rounds, put G2 on an eco. They were looking
Bro
all
said
out of
13-3,
sorts.
they got to
are
3 instantly.
Straight back into this half.
The sheriff
You're
from.
not loving getting 3
wow,
on Lotus on
already
attack.
broke.
You're hoping for a lot more. It's an attack favorite map typically, but so they are taking what they can get as G2 are pushing through their own spawn. Shenron, watch!
Not bad from Chenom, and he's
Satisfying.
done enough there. There was a wrap from G2 pushing out a B. There's always something happening on that
Almost.
part of the map. And MIB also were aware. Trent's got a rifle to hand now. Cortezia drops down.
Spike
Paranoia
planted.
out, stays safe behind rubble.
Wow.
Okay, cheeky little timing. Gets that extra
If Leaf
frag.
gets 1 kill here.
Now there's a chance for G2 to
Timing.
go for this.
Wow.
Leaf collects onto Verno here.
Player standing.
Damn, he cleared it.
Yeah.
Wow.
Hand straight to head there. Bit of a
That was
scratch.
good patience, good clear.
Verno had to flick awfully fast. Trent here playing with house money, essentially. The round is all but lost for G2. He'd like to try and do some damage.
Might as well, didn't even come into the
Ooh.
round with the rifle. Does collect a third, but is shut down. MIBR
Ooh, ooh.
finding a lot of
Ooh.
success after the timeout called. Fraud putting them in position to end this half with a respectable minimum 4 at this point.
Oh man, that could have gone ugly.
That could have been disastrous. If Leaf gets that kill,
And he has upper control.
recovers the rifle,
Not even close, baby.
a totally different situation.
I'm out of here.
Look at the amount of ults that
They're bringing
G2
it back,
have
bro.
right now. Is Leaf going to
You
try
guys
to
said it
use
was
this pick
over. It's
straight
never
away
over
just to
till it's
control
over.
C, and the rest of the team stack up towards A. It's possible.
He's actually getting info first, so he doesn't want to use it.
Oh my god, the
unnecessarily.
TP? He double
Big
TP?
fight though for Rubble. We like to see these. Here comes a rolling thunder though. Catches Cortezia out.
The
Aspas,
stun.
though, holds his own. Jonah isn't able to capitalize
Trent.
at all. Trent
Trent.
now takes a fight to Aspas on the move.
Shoot!
He
Shoot,
goes
damn it!
careening into the door.
Wait, what?
Armageddon up here for Trent now. Jorgamo.
Might even be able to combo that Armageddon with some of this information from the dimensional drift if they really want to risk it.
Yep, he's yapping, relaying it. Leaf might even have been looking at this flank opportunity now. He can double up. Verno dropped down
Wow,
here. Then Armageddon
nice shots,
played off perfectly
dude.
by G2.
Yo,
Well
nah,
worth
Leaf
using
is
the
too
ultimates in this kind
fucking
of
good,
rounds.
brother.
And it gets them the result they were
Holy
looking for.
That was
smokes.
a beautiful combo.
Round is
And
the
Jaw gets out on
Leaf
the
and
backside
Trent,
of
nice
Rubble,
round.
doubles up with Leaf. They fight together. Could have been dangerous for a second. because Leaf was on that flank and they were totally unaware, but it all works out according to plan.
Look at the second shot,
But
bro.
you have to give credit to Trent. Bam! That's a sickening shot onto Aspas.
Aspas getting a little bit more active here, but
Wow.
no more involved. Dropping in these early rounds, and again, you want that Neon sometimes to make that space, so you at least trade them, but with the walls up everywhere, it can be messy.
The rounds are fast.
Semi-BR, all 5 players fighting towards A early.
Last round of the half, they're just going to go for it. Cortez here from the shadows, gets him in position now. Relay bolts there.
Wow, dude, this util is so annoying, man.
And they might want to keep pushing on this.
I would be
They
so
check the
annoyed.
corner. Trent's spot from last round has been vacated. He's playing a bit further
Jonah's
back. His
dead.
Artazine deals to Jonah.
Trent?
There's a wrap here from Leaf, but it might be a little bit too slow, and the Viper's Pit won't get value this round. Here's Trent though again.
Stun for stun!
Lines him up. Special delivery catches on the Verna, but he too is stunned. Down
Oh
to 7.
my god, the
Finish
stun
job. That
kill.
buys enough time though for Leaf to get in position at least. There's an attack side. Viper's Pit on A, impinging into tree.
Leaf could try to counter pit to get into tree if he
Shorty.
wants, or just fight close. Art's in with the shorty right there, but he's caught.
He ran through
Even
the
now in
mall.
numbers, Leaf ready for it. Shorty to hand himself. He dives into the pit. It's a hit, but not
Nice
enough
try.
damage. And Aspas with his own shorty. We'll get
Wow,
LIBR
that was
out of
kind of a
attack
crazy
side
ending to that half.
5
The rounds were just
rounds.
like
Maybe
20
not as much
second
as they're looking
brawls.
for. G2 choke him out a little bit at the start of that half.
MIBR were looking buried halfway into this so far. And out of a timeout call from their coach Fraud, they were able to string several rounds back. And now they can have a go at this. I'm looking forward to seeing what G2 can bring us on attack today. That is where they struggled against
6-1 to
EG
7-5.
yesterday. That is where they faltered and lost.
It was
this Lotus
6-1
map
and I
for the
said,
first
oh,
time in 2025. It
G2
has
only
been
lost to this
their
map on
undefeated
EG. It'll probably be
home ground.
13-3. Then it was
MIBR
7-5.
to grind in that second
What's up, Rain?
first half. Excuse
How
me,
we
they get
living?
themselves to 5. That's good enough for now.
I don't know if 5 is enough,
Quick break.
though.
We'll be back with the
Yeah,
second
let's
half and
see.
conclusion
Not bad, though.
of our second map Lotus.
That is true. Attack side. It's gonna be problems. It's gonna be problems, really. You're on my TV speakers. Be a good boy. Okay, here we go.
Hot start, both halves, and they close that map out. So far on Lotus, it's G2.
You got it.
who are up
Okay.
1-0
Thank you. Thank you so much.
as far as pistols go. So let's see if MIBR can even that up here with a trap play set up on B.
Okay, they do have a bit of a crossfire here, and there it is before the fault lines come through.
shot.
They come from everywhere, by the way.
Double
It's
rocket
just so
kills.
good. Oh, buddy.
You have rockets? Well, guess what? So do
Beautifully
we.
executed MIBR pistol rounds. And not even Trent can ruin their day. Stunning stuff. Breach and Teho util, and of course Aspas there to follow up.
That is exactly how they drew it up. It's just that simple. Walking right into the trap. Fault line, salvos, Ospas, immediate first tap on the jaw as well is just...
Dude, that is so
So
fucked,
And
man.
the G2 fault line is not great. It's actually very easily sidestepped by Aspas.
That's a big pistol, though.
I mean, if you can guarantee 3 out of 4 times you're winning those pistol rounds, it puts you in such a good spot in the series, and it puts MIBR 1 round from evening up the game.
That might be the fastest round we get in this entire series. If we're being
The rounds have
honest.
been running
G2,
so
even though
fast.
They don't get the spike down on attack. They
The last
still
7
want
rounds
to
of this
force.
game
They
have been like 30
stingers,
seconds.
Light armors, they're ready to go.
One thing we saw from MIBR when they were on defense,
This one looks to
against
be
them
the
is that
same.
They did want to fight Rubble.
Well, it's
for
a force,
one. They've got
actually.
this neon. They want to get value from Aspas, obviously being able to come from odd positions.
They're going to stun Molly.
Now, this is a position that Aspas wants to be in. He's the guy with a Vandal, taking a longer range look at this main door when G2 come out, wants to be able to spray at range.
Oh, they're lurking through.
Paranoia in the hands of Contezia. We forced off here,
Wow.
TPing away from those
Wait,
salvos.
he
It
gets
takes
a
small amount of
kill?
damage.
I like what they did,
Ends up
though.
TPing right behind Jorgamo,
They
tap on the
sneak
shoulder,
up,
and a
then
headshot
use
with
the
stinger.
util,
Keeps
and
it
try to
even in
catch
this
him
round.
as he's running away if he's there.
There's a chance
But
maybe Aspas can
he's
throw
still
that
gotta kill
Vandal over
somehow.
to Shenum trade for the Stinger, so a guy with full armor can get the best weapon available in the server right now.
Oh my god.
Stealth drone going to get some information towards B for Trent and allow G2 an opportunity to slowly creep towards this A site.
All things considered, you're holding a bunch of stingers in your G2. You're pretty happy to get so much space taken there on A
30
Rubble
seconds
already.
left.
Now you're within striking distance of a site. You use one more wave of that initiator util, and Bob's your uncle.
Uh-oh, they're getting
I'm
close.
gonna rip that fault line. Verno could be in trouble. They're closing
getting
the distance
flashbacks
right
to
now. He wants to
EG.
back up. He's gonna have to try and stun himself. Shenum on the
You
swing
give
to
G2
protect
too
him,
much
however.
space,
And the right
bro.
weapon for it too. Snakebite doesn't really
They run
hit.
with it.
And
But
G2 trying to
it
save
looks
their
okay.
util to stop MIBR's presumed flood. So they get in the side for free, almost.
After this flash, that'll be the last piece of util they have left. Salvos as well. Now it's just going to come down to the gunplay. Can MIBR trade out for each other effectively?
Cold steel, white knuckle grip on these guns for G2. These thingers have got
Wow.
to sing. Aspas for one.
Good timing.
Trent those having to get
Verno's
into the
low,
game
they're
now.
both
1
low.
versus 2, but look how low they are. A bit
Wait,
away
how's
with
it not a
spray, and he'd
kill?
have it. Classic out.
Dude.
Aspas catches him through the corner
Damn,
of the
Trent had
masonry.
that. They were so
we have
low. How's that
ourselves an
first one not a
even
kill?
Barely
Wow.
getting away with that, scraping by. G2 had such an explosive entry into Rubble when we saw Cortezia put in that high pressure situation.
That's
early
what
on.
saved them.
He goes 1 for 1. That's the absolute best you can ask from this guy. Look at what's happening.
Yeah.
It's such a difficult position to play yourself out of. Shenum does great work protecting Verno there. And then legit, it actually comes down to them having better weapons and getting like better spray penetration through the wall.
Now, something that's fun to look for from MIBR is they'll take a Rubble fight on A. They'll do it on C as well. They'll fight for Mound. They'll do it round after round, but they're going to be set up for it again this time. And Aspas meets Valen head to head. Still a bit of an awkward one for G2 weaponry. Why
What?
Sheriff's for them. Singing out well enough as Aspas got caught by an aftershock in the end.
This next kill's big.
Despite having these
Wait,
bad weapons,
Leaf's
the fact
being a
that they pick
rat.
up 2
Come
players
see, come
from
see.
MIBR
Go
is a
see.
testament to
Now
how
the question
explosive
is,
this
does
G2
Jonah
entry is
P
into Rubble.
get
It
caught
is
by
fantastic stuff. Leaf has
Shenum?
inserted
There's
himself
no
down
way
into
Leaf is going to be able to
the
clear him
location
out.
of the map
Oh, he
where
heard him. Shenum heard him.
defenders spawn.
Shenum heard him.
So we'll see if
Yeah,
he
this
can
is
find
no
the
way.
timing to just
There's
backstab
no way
someone,
Leaf is going
get
to
a
flank
rifle.
mounts, right?
Hey, maybe there's a
Jonah
chance
P is
for
going to
G2
peek
yet.
before then.
G2 have been spending more than teams tend to do after
If he
losing
waits
that
for him, that's
pistol,
insane
which is why they've
patience.
yet to get
Oh, he found him!
Sheriff does just
my
as well.
God, he sees him
Shenum there
from
plucked out of that
sight.
position,
You're
and that
kidding
opens the
me,
door now for
dude.
Jonah to come right on through.
Oh
Get that
my
spike in.
god.
And instead of
Bro.
going for the gun, Leaf is going to opt to try and get into another unexpected position to just get a free back.
They're going back to
Or
no.
at that, I mean, hell, Jonah could leave this site if he really wants to.
And he might.
Yeah,
They're
that's going to be
leaving.
the decision.
And again, he's happy. He says, I've drawn out a lot of this initiator util. Of course, it's only Teho and Breach that are left, so I've got to be wary
Back
of
to
that.
C?
He got a bit for free.
Yo,
Oh,
what
buddy.
the fuck? They're
Tucked in the
playing,
corner.
they're
This guy's
toying
been
with
magic
them.
today. Verno with a special delivery.
He's worried about the
Just
second
so scared
guy.
that Jonah is going to swing off of Leaf's contact.
And Jonah's gone elsewhere, bro. He's gone to A. Verno now
Oh
has
my
to execrate
God.
himself.
Does he clear this corner? Oh my god,
Rifle
there's
the
no
head
way
for
he's
Jonah.
playing here. This is
Armor.
so
He's
risky.
in a decent spot.
Oh.
He knows where Verno's coming from.
Oh my god,
He's
does
in
he
the perfect
clear
spot
the
too.
corner? Do pros
Biding his
clear
time.
corner? He
Patient
does.
kill over the barrel will be no.
What? I thought he would clear for sure.
Crumbles to dust right before MIBR's eyes.
Oh
It's
my
another
god.
Sheriff round for G2. A ridiculous one to win, but hey,
Wow,
that's just what they do.
man.
And Leaf was everywhere on the map. They could not locate him.
What a wild
on
round,
his flank
dude.
efforts, and he just gets away with 2 free kills in that 2 versus 3.
Leaf is too fucking
He played that
smart.
situation so well.
He's too
at
smart.
22 and 11 right now on the Viper.
These kids are getting cooked. That was the
These kids are getting cooked.
Willing
he's
them
too smart,
into
man.
this grand final. I mean, hell, he willed them into this lower final yesterday. He's gotten them over the finish line. He's gotten them into Toronto, and now he wants to get them another trophy.
Oh my God.
Hudson says, nah,
Famous
never mind,
last
I'm
words.
gonna
These
spend
kids
me
are
down
getting
that job.
cooked. He gets fucking one tap through an orb.
I'd almost forgotten what Artisan's been able to produce this series. He delivers a quick reminder.
He overheated, bro.
Teo Util's gonna
That's
clear the
karma?
upper
Is that
spot.
karma, chat?
Shen on now knows he's about to get a good
Is
look.
that
Trent
instant karma?
will be able to reveal him. And he'll have to move away from this aftershock. Slow and steady. G2 expending that Util now on the way in.
Oh my-
what a relay bolt though. Not able to capitalize on it. Shen down. Verno here with the Sheriff on the corner. A lot of shots coming in through the boxes as G2 want to overwhelm, and they
Wow.
do. They are hungry to get this lead extended.
Just so many little things that the G2 do right. Jaw waiting for Jonah to be the one who actually swings out. A guy with more HP so he doesn't go down, lose his rifle. Now they're into the 4-on-3, and what a timing to catch it to Artsin.
And he had a Rolling Thunder. He was lining up some of that Util.
That's poetic justice.
Smacked back down, and now MIVR have got
Trying to get his
consider
Rory
how
roll.
much they want to
Oh.
commit.
Okay, that's a nice little peek from Cortesia. Go to teleport into the dark cover.
Cortesia's going for it quiet
Nice
so far
try.
today, and he will remain muted. Aspas is
try.
going to do something crazy there, and Jonah P establish order in the sacred timeline at C2 now, building that lead up once more. MIBR at least have a chance to buy in here.
Jonah comes up with a great three-piece. Jaw finds the entry, but then he's so weak, and look at this. He lets Jonah be the first one to round the corner against that Sheriff, so he doesn't go down to one single body shot. And from there, he's just on cleanup duty.
I mean, at that point, you're improvising. As MIBR, you're TPing onto a side as Cortesia when there's a fast lane up. Now, though, more to work with, and still that breach ultimate.
All right, full
kept by
buy.
Artisan.
Oh, posture check, hydration check.
Aspas going to play off of the standard one-way dark cover that's thrown over towards Mound. Hazard's in to throw a fault line for him if contact is taken.
Door toggled by Aspas. Enough to see the drone. Verno also checking with his own over towards the A side to see if there's more than just the token lurk. Aspas down to 5. Magic
got
number
out.
for him, though. Off we run.
And in the meantime, Leaf had been slowly trying to get his way up towards A, but was caught by Verno's stealth nerf. And now caught himself as he tries to find his timing window through the wall.
Nah, Leaf jinxed himself. I'm not gonna lie.
Absolutely
He jinxed himself.
with the hubris there.
The most casual of walks I've ever seen.
That spells his team into a 3 versus 5, where now it's
They're
trying
taking
to
ones now.
explore, trying to find an opening, but everything is
Aspas
being
and
covered
Tarek
by
always
MIBR.
play so
Yeah,
controlled and
info.
calm.
No
Retweet.
way of gaining it. Play disadvantage. The upshot is that he can still keep putting pressure next round with some of these weapons. But now Verno and Artisan both develop those ultimates. Jonah P has a look. Valorant 2100 might fancy trying to keep a lid on this money.
Polar
MIBR.
bear in
Going against Artisan
Arlington.
here would be big.
Some damage would not hurt. Right call here from Artsin, though. Backing off, going to play very passively.
Valen tracking that corner.
10 seconds left.
Fundamentals looking good for Artisan.
Nice try.
Jonah smacks him. Next up's Verno. Spacing, I wouldn't say is sublime, but Verno's got the moves. Nice slide outward.
Money,
It's a
money,
one-round
money. They
game
have
now,
money.
Keeping it competitive. MIBR on this defense side are getting
Three
a lot more
ults.
done than they could against Sen.
They've
Pause.
done a nice job on that round there of just applying that early C-mount pressure. It was this fight with Aspas able to isolate onto Jaw, slide away, and then Lee feels like it's time for him to go. Because he had already gotten spotted out by that drone, there was a high awareness to his presence if he does try to push forward. So
Just like lean back here a bit.
What?
actual
All right.
big bro and
I'm
little
giving
bro
Verno
moment.
I'm giving Verno like an 8 out of 10. Aspas, of course, perfect marks
He's the
always.
OG. He's
Yeah,
still
yeah.
he's still learning.
There's
from
like a
his
little
big bro.
hitch. There's like a little hitch halfway down, you know. Can't
Right,
allow
it wasn't
that.
smooth the entire. Yeah, there was a
Exactly.
little stutter. Look at there though. Keep working. Still his rookie year.
I mean, again, those two are
He's learning from the best.
they're very cute. Or Vernozine.
They are two cute little guys.
Yeah.
with their, with him changing his
Instagram
IG
tag.
handle
Yeah.
to
Aspas
match
is not leading
Aspas.
anymore because Verno's copying
It's
him.
cool, man. It's just,
Guys.
it's cool to see something that rarely works out. And what I mean is like a foreign player coming into a team that previously been speaking probably Portuguese, but I mean, we know everyone on MLBR. We talk to them all the time. Like, their English is awesome. They've welcomed Verno with open arms, and it seems like it's a match made in heaven. Is it enough to get him over the line on Lotus?
Juicy
Luckily
game.
for them, they were able to save 4 of those
Yeah,
rifles
it's been a sweaty match for
around
sure.
where their economy was on the line, so they'll be able to buy here and buy the next at least.
It's
They might
ramping
need to
up.
buy in the next because G2 have hell
It
of
was
a lot of
6-1
ultimates.
G2. They brought it back 7-5, and here we
To be
are.
fair, this should be an explosive round. Again, this dark cover is being thrown down immediately, but it's Jaw with a dimensional drift going to run through B, send the great
12 hours
King
is
Crashes
crazy, bro.
towards the door, getting a lot of info towards Waterfall. What does the C setup look like for MIBR?
Okay,
They get into the site.
No way! Oh, the
Dude.
Aspas not ready for that at all.
Dude.
Smacks down. Jogamo now needs to respect this.
Dude, he had a
aftershock.
freebie.
And Gate crashes on out to a relatively safe place. Here's
Oh,
now
he's so
rolling
dead.
thunder. It's wave upon wave of
Oh
util
my
from
God, the
G2
guy's
and Colin
stunned.
at least
Bro.
would leave.
9 out of 10 times, the guy
holds
stunned
his
gets a
ground.
kill.
How does
G2 are out of there.
How
Nice
does he go 1
shot.
for 1 and now Jaw is caught by Shen.
Wow, they actually brought it back.
Jaw had put them in such an excellent position, saw the Cortesia, he had made that teleport forward. That's why the Rolling Thunder was sent out, and he still goes 1 for 1 while stunned, and then Artzin instantaneous
ult? He did, right?
follow-up. Beautiful trade from him. He is so on point today. This might be the best game we've seen from Artzin since the first game, actually, of this stage, where he dropped some unreal numbers on the breach.
And he's doing it without a judge. It's been real nice. But that Cortesia kill might have been the pivotal one.
Jonah
Again,
P.
the money's just teetering
Right.
here, but G2 it's not in a good place at all. Trent's out of util entirely. Drones
Wow,
once
he's so
and there's
aware.
Jonah. It had to be a solo mission.
1v3.
Trent will try and drag
For the
himself out of
books?
these salvos he can. 1 versus 3. It's
One?
dicey. Already
Uh-oh.
Arzin's
There's
down.
ult.
He'll fall back. Trent, can he?
Oh,
So
if he
hard
gets
to
that
catch.
kill?
Roberto will
Nice
sink
try.
his teeth in. Once more, we're tied up.
Dude, it's
G2
tie
had all of the
game.
information. They made the right plays
Ah,
there, but
shit.
the gunplay
No
for
rockets, no
MIBR,
win.
They are just shooters, top to bottom. This entire roster. Late into stage 1, when you were looking at the stats comparison of their players to
Wow.
the entire field of VCT, they had the tightest distribution of stats. All of their players were putting on star performances on any
Nice,
given
nice.
day. And right now, in a round like that, you have Shannon picking up a huge kill over towards the A side. Artzin with that rapid trade. Cortesia somehow finding his in the stun.
Hey, watch ain't
There's
strong
just
as strong
no one on the
yesterday.
squad you can go
It's
up
hard to
against
hate
and
watch
not
here
feel
because
you're in
like
danger.
both
This one,
teams
this
are
map is building
qualified.
now to a pretty explosive climax.
There's
Round
not as
19
much on
coming
the
up, and our
line,
teams
even
are
though there
9
is
apiece.
with the finals, like the
Like we
seeding
mentioned that previous round, money troubles for G2.
doesn't hit as hard.
Just a Guardian at best for them.
Wow.
So it's kind of just a
Several
good game,
rounds.
you know. Like
Reefers
both teams
met
are
his match over towards that
playing
A side.
well.
Again, fast trade. Ospas hungry for more.
And he knows
This
he's
is
got
sweaty.
the advantage. He knows he's got the better weapon.
Oh,
Might be one of the
oh.
sharpest individuals we have here in Americas. But he still respects
Leaf is getting shut
the
down
numbers from G2
ever
and
since
backs
he made
away.
that comment, bro.
But implies with that fast lane that he might have gone in the waterfall direction. So we'll see if they check this. Weird angle. Pulls the trigger a little too early.
What?
Still gets away. Plot
Neo,
out
is that
release for
you?
Aspas as well, it seems.
They heard him.
One enemy remaining.
Trent,
Trent, Sheriff, just the
Dude,
Sheriff
imagine.
out there on
That's right.
mound.
they're bringing it
Tornado
back,
will
bro.
sweep him away. We're not in Kansas anymore, Trent.
Eventually just surrounded by MIBR, closing in on them. I just want to draw attention to the first kill. This is Shenham again, over towards this A side. It's been him a couple times. Bruno on a prior round where Leafers stopped getting value. They
Wow.
are disrespecting
The running
his
gun with the
efforts
Phantom,
to
dude.
get space on A alone as the Viper. They are having none of it. And what is the response from G2? Well, they're going to send their entire team over towards A and fight for this hard.
Everyone's
They
A.
are so good at this explosive entry. But actually, they're
They're
going to
walking
take it
out.
slow this time. Juxtaposed to the way earlier in this half they were trying to get into rubble.
But they're preserving that util maybe for this second wave.
The jump
second
spot,
push-up.
dude. Here we go. Soon.
Cortesia,
Let's see how patient they are.
Paranoia in position. It's only him and Tree right now, though. Swiping the timing.
fuck.
Sidestep there. Here comes an Armageddon from the defenders.
Might have been
Eventually
early,
gonna
huh?
get moving, but Jorg knows he has some time. There's
It's all his
Valorant
elbow.
dealt with now heading into tree. G2 brimming
Wait,
with
that one
confidence. Tony Artesian, he wants to get forward. He wants to get ahead of this.
This could be
They
good.
made that trap play look like a joke. Valen just walks forward with Jaw and
Nope,
they
they're going back.
dismantle the defenders. They're trying to find kills off the Armageddon. That looked like it required less than no effort to deal with.
And where's the trade opportunity? There just is none. G2 just walk up to MIBR, take 2 kills, walk away scot-free.
Shannon, how many does it get here?
Shannon
Call it
again in
now.
a really important position. Last round was the opener. Now it's a second wave.
Ah.
Heads go rolling.
He would have been a
They
good
do.
guess.
But eventually Trent can shut him down and still puts G2 at a player advantage. And now MIBR have to come together. Once more, though, it's
Will they
both their
expect Vernal
initiators
to be so
flushed with
close?
util.
Yes. They
This
might
round
be
is of the utmost importance for G2 to win, and despite having the man advantage, you know they're going to want to use ultimates to get this over the finish line. So there's that Viper's Pit, and just in case, Trent is still sitting on the Armageddon.
Artesin's been a bit slow on this, maybe
Oh, he's
checking
dead.
his back line. Armageddon comes on through. Verno knows he's got to step
got
forward. He
one.
finds himself the one, eventually falling to Trent's ultimate, though.
Leaf is low,
And
but
Artesin with 1 flashpoint, 70 points of health, and 2 players to bowl over now.
Oh, fuck.
Has to step up to the plate. Nothing
Nah,
to
it's
see.
impossible,
Decay
bro.
down to
Not
1.
gonna lie.
Time working against him. He'll spray. He'll speculate. He'll
Nice
hope.
try.
The hope won't get you there. G2 even it up again.
Yeah, at the very least for MIB,
Did I
they
watch
can walk
Kayak's
away
share
feeling
face? Nah, we gotta see that. I didn't see it.
content with getting the ultimates out at the end of that round, forcing G2 to have to expend both of them to get the win.
damn.
But they're going to be frustrated that
Oh,
this
shots.
trap play they set up was all for naught.
Yeah.
It was the right idea. They were playing back rubble. They did walk out,
Thank you.
but they could not capitalize off of the G2 positioning being thrown into disarray by all of their utility. They
And they
just
weren't
straight
pressed.
up lost duels.
They weren't pressed, G2, by that Armageddon coming in or any of the salvos. They just stepped out of the way and stuck to the plan.
They looked so disinterested and unimpressed with everything that had been thrown at them.
Is this safe?
It's kind of funny.
Three
But,
guns.
all right, MIBR, they are in a pretty tricky economic spot. They've got a few rifles into this, and the 2 players with absolutely nothing.
Okay, they got
Gentlemen,
A
it's pit
control.
funnel potentially to B.
They leave
So that's an
Valen.
option.
Push back C.
After he sees the drone come in now, obviously wants to avoid suppression. He does.
Bit of a late
And
recall.
defense
Make
is
sure
just
it's-
waiting
making
to
sure it's
crunch
bring him in
somewhere.
Classic as well. Just no, I don't have the rifle over here.
So now they push B.
Leaf unfortunately can't hide the fact. Aspas steps out, just takes a raw fight.
Labored.
Eventually help comes, but the
Holy
timing was
fuck.
bizarre.
Wait,
It's
what?
cooling off. Trent at least
Trent's
comes in for
got
the
2?
trade and a little bit more shuts down Verno as well and allows the team to pivot here towards this A side.
Mr.
This box
Consistent
never
is
gets
Trent.
cleared, but they're gonna go tree anyway. Oh, they're going C
Cortez
actually.
here. Man on a mission.
What is
Like
oh,
solid
Shannon has
snake
a
with only
rifle, but he's
paper
low.
clipping.
He's walking
Maybe a
through.
rubber band to work with, just the
30
classic.
seconds left.
What can he cobble to get
Oh.
Stunning for Shannon though. All of a sudden,
Orb,
things look a bit
orb.
old apple for G2. This is an important round. It's so pivotal.
Him going back,
Shannon,
trying
though,
to
is
dodge
just
the
a
stun,
stunned
fucked
upright
him, bro.
special delivery.
He
Wait,
is
Breach is
stuck
close,
in a
though.
one and done position that G2 are
Wait,
able
the
to
flank
take
and
advantage
this
of.
guy is
Trent,
close?
life on the
No,
line there.
he had a
Got
free
points
kill,
and
bro.
looked like he was going to.
He had a
Perfect
free
shoot.
kill.
The
He didn't
timing works
know.
against him. Cortesia.
Oh my god.
GPs. It's a fake one, and he's standing right on top of these salvos. It's looking dire. It's looking grim. The upshot is that he can buy in the next round, so let's see what he can rustle up out here. Some vittles, some grub, no. An
Oh
early
my
grave.
god. Okay.
Another
I mean,
three-piece
that
for
was like
Jonah
a-
P and G2.
Like a half investment
One
round.
giant step forward for this team.
You said it. If there's ever a player that's going to step up that they can rely on, it's going to be Trent. Especially in 2025. He has just always been there for G2 when they need him. Finds the trade for Leaf and then gets the advantage
Wow.
on top of it by winning a second duel towards B main. And from there, G2 have their choice of where they want to finish, which site they want to hit. MIB are forced into
Starting to
the
tilt.
timeout. Earlier on this map, back in the first half, when their first time I was
G2
used
can
by
only
Coach
win on
Vaughn, he
timings
put
and
them
luck.
on a
Holy.
run. They got 3 rounds in a row to make their attack half decent enough to stay in this game, to hang around. And that's where they're at. Let's see if he can do it again and get them over the finish line. Steal away G2's home map, which they've only lost 1 time on this year.
But it was reason. Proper recent.
There, it was yesterday, man.
Yep.
It actually just happened. It's the last time they played it. It's yesterday, and they're still having nightmares about Ye clutching on them with a sheriff, winning 1v3s.
MIBR, and they springboard into this second half after a bit of a slow start to Lotus with a big pistol round win. And since then, they've managed to gather some crucial rounds together. 7-5 half, recoverable for them. They still are behind the 8 ball to a degree, and their opponents in G2 are armed to the teeth. They've got a dimensional drift for Jorgamo here as well.
Ospas just the stinger, but of course that's because he has the overdrive, going to try and get some serious value with that ult, and it looks like aggression is the idea from MIBR. All 5 players.
It's
right
always
at
the C
barrier
crunch,
drop
or like the
for
T-spawn
BNC.
crunch.
Aspas wants to be full.
Damn.
G2 say, we're ready for it.
Poor
They played a
bro.
slow default, expecting the push up, and there's more where that came from, apparently. Here. Jorgamo gets behind. He sees that last player at Mound and Artesine.
Wow.
Oh, buddy. Into the waiting arms of Jorg. As he tried to escape. This is
Did
bad
it kind of
news,
feel like
bad
G2 were
news
ready?
for MIBR. The money's in shambles. They take a
I
huge
mean, we've
risk,
seen not
a
only
gamble
MIBR,
off
but a lot of
Aspas
teams do that shit.
doesn't pay off.
Completely falls flat in the face of G2's awareness that a play like that could be coming.
Why risk on Byron? They were
That
doing
is a
okay,
Pretty
arguably.
standard play in the playbook for everyone on Lotus defense, especially when you have the Neon
Yeah,
running that
kind of a
early
set
BC
standard play a little
pinch,
bit.
straight running at the attacking
Felt
side.
like G2 waited for it a little bit
They
as
were
well.
stacked up, ready for it, and it looked like Jorgamo hit a stunner shot onto Ospas to really just shut that effort down in its entirety. Verno relegated to a slow, sad save.
Thank you for the
G2
resub.
can afford to hunt a little bit.
We saw the stats coming into the game. Verno with a higher KD than Aspas, even though has a lower ACS, is because we have a lot of rounds like this. Verno is the Teo player, needs to be hanging around late in the round, so often survives, has less deaths than his contemporaries. That's a nice little pick on Leaf, but doesn't really furrow
Their
the
money
brow
is
of
shit,
G2,
bro.
who now stand on map points.
This series might
Doing
go the
pretty
distance.
well weapon-wise, and it's up to MIBR to cobble something together.
Dude,
God, that is
he barely dodged the util.
jaw.
He had a crazy ass shot.
Spamming through the dark cover.
Damn.
Which I also just love that that's being placed again, just displaying how aware G2 are of the situation that's headed their way. One away from tying up this series 1-1. RG2 on their home map of Lotus, intentions of getting out into rubble early. Going to be slowed down.
Whoa,
by that initial
spam.
fault line and Valorant taking
Big
a
spam.
ton of damage. That
Leaf
Guardian
is
high
0 and
bullet
7
pen
after
through
the
wall.
karma
Yeah,
words.
Artesine
Is
was
he
spraying
actually 0-7 since
early
he
in the
said
round,
that shit?
There was a Viper's
That's
pit already set up
hilarious.
on C. We do sometimes see teams pivot into this pit, and you can clear it, of course, with, I don't know, a Rolling Thunder. Jonapi has one of those. Drone comes out on the B side. He sees the gate crash comes in. So Shen, I'm not sure that G2 have been put off this idea of going C.
MIBR have rotated over
Breach
towards
ult.
B right now, as they have some fair information close A with
They're gonna breach ult the Viper
playing
ults?
up close
Damn.
while they are just
They're
going
doing it.
Rolling Thunder Shenum right out of this.
He's likely to be caught by this unless he can tuck in that bottom corner. Unlikely he gets there in time. Trent opens with a drone. Here's a lot of util to flush the pit out. They know where the Viper is, and here comes the Rolling Thunder
He
now.
missed.
Jenum got to be forced back. Now, can't do much there. Jaws able to run him over. That pit will
Still
dissipate
got him,
now as the
though.
defenders try and get set up here in Waterfall.
Look where
The
Leaf
He's
is.
already so far forward. Jaw on the site itself.
Wow, what a dodge.
Just lazily steps out of the way of that incoming util.
Trent is about to have the Armageddon when he gets the spike down too.
Oh my
Players
god,
up there for
the
G2.
flood.
Straight for Cortesia. Finally gets
What?
to the game.
That was looking so good for G2. I think that first kill on
Just
Leaf
as it
was
looked like it
a
was
big
all
one.
done.
Oh my god.
Cortesia steps up and keeps
I don't know how they
MIBR
did
in the
that.
game.
I don't know where he came from. It looked like
I don't
they
know how
had
they did
no
that.
hope whatsoever. Down a man
Oh my
after
God.
Shenum is just routed out of that pit, has no hopes in that situation.
What?
Just the spam through.
What?
Oh my god, he didn't even get back out with the classic.
Nice work, this.
You gotta win those. G2 have a timeout left over coming into this round 24.
Oh my.
What better time to make use of it? God forbid, in their opinion, that things go far enough that we get into OT. That's when we enter the Bizarro world. where everything's made up and the points don't matter, and MIBR could steal the map away.
We all want G2 to lose,
Eventually,
right?
Armageddon being
Nah, at
developed by
this
Trent in
point,
that
bro.
fight, never had an opportunity to use it in that round.
I mean, yeah, I guess
Were
why
just
not?
So they hit the gas. They were in there way too quickly for Trent to even have an opportunity to let it go off, which is a testament to a good decision from MIBR to not ease up while the spike was being planted. They did not give G2 an opportunity to position themselves. You just have to give credit to Cortezia for manifesting that round win out of thin air. He's been slow to start in this series, but maybe this is the turning point for him individually to really wake up. He has been one of the easy Rookie of the Year candidates.
Ba,
We
ba,
come to a
ba,
fork
ba,
in the
ba,
road.
ba, ba, ba,
Either an
ba,
even
ba,
series
ba, 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 ba.
or overtime here on Lotus, where G2 would be
All
at
right,
risk
guys,
of dropping a
down to the
consecutive
wire.
map.
Should I stand up? Maybe I need to get my energy up by
Bated breath
standing.
here, and you can feel the tension in the room. Armageddon available for Trent, and Rolling Thunder for Artazine
feel
just
like
around the corner.
I'm
Looks like
too
we're set
stationary,
for a good
and I
old
didn't
rubble
jump
fight.
today.
Off we go.
Instant fault line going to come through from Artsin, and now G2 trying to scale out.
Joel gets deep, but there's no one there to meet him.
Oh,
Aspas
hell
apparently
no.
found him. That's dirty. He was.
This
pushing
A control
forward.
does not work,
G2
dude.
sent Joel so deep, and we're already there to back him up.
And now you can see Trent having to run back towards spawn. They're worried that someone from MIBR could be pushed up out of C, pushing up out of B.
Oh, they look nervous. They look extremely nervous. Paranoia
I
for Jordan.
think overtime is in the cards. Jinx.
Just used by Cortezia to maintain
Just like that, it's
control
fine.
of this A side of the map. G2, they have to re-clear everything. They have no control of Mountain. The dark cover just expired. They're just going to have to pure contact that on the opposite side of the map.
Okay, here comes that aforementioned clear. Aspas.
Damn!
Too clean! Too clean!
Damn!
And in the perfect round to get going, he gets it done.
1v5.
Valorant disoriented, surrounded
1v5.
inside the pointed
1v5.
orb.
Oh.
And Jenna will put him to bed. This one's headed to extra innings.
Me and
G2
Aspas
just trying
cannot
to
be
work
guarded.
Both sides
I'll
of the
say
map
it.
divided
I'll be
50-50, and either side completely crushed by the MIBR defensive setup. We demanded that Aspas show up today after such an uncharacteristic underperformance against Sentinels yesterday that's gotten them into this lower bracket spot, and he is making good on that promise. He is stepping up 24 for 17, sick 2K on that final round.
Haphazard rubble fight though for G2. They send the vanguard of Jorg
25.
forward first, and he
Focus
doesn't
up,
check his
buddy.
6. Just gives up the kill for free, and they can't recover from there.
And I gotta mention, at one point, Leaf had 10 more kills than the next highest player on
Leaf has
G2
not
and
got
was
a
at
kill since he
22
said
and
I'm
11.
cooking these bums.
He has cooled off. MIBR have his number.
He's been a 00 agent so far. After that, here's Trent O'Shannon getting taken down. He looks to probe on B, but G2 are very proactive this round. And quickly, Leaf starts to move into a backstab position. This is going to draw Verno away from Mound, but sees very lightly held for G2. They want the retake.
On the flank, just going to keep him in his place with that Molly. Doesn't want to take the fight
Get
to
out
him.
of
Martin
there.
in some serious danger from
You
that
actually
spam, and he does go
stay
down
and
to Trent.
spam
Spike
back
down, though.
is
MIBR down to 3.
crazy.
But if Aspas is alive, anything is possible. Here's Leaf on the other side of the door. Verno, oh, buddy on the move as well. Cortezio finds one, and here we go
2v3,
once more.
2v3.
MIBR disadvantaged, but in a position to punish a defuse attempt.
Damn.
Oh, there it is, the slide is in. And Aspas has arrived once more. Jonah goes low from that one, walks into a crossfire.
He got away!
Oh, no.
How did he get away?
Allen now has to salvage the
Oh
round.
my god,
To a crisp.
Aspas is too
Daddy's
good.
home.
Oh, did he say Daddy's home?
And that is why
Did he say Daddy's home?
Aspas is the GOAT of Valorant.
Oh my God.
Unbelievable 4K. Uses everything he's got in his arsenal. Rifle, shorty, enough kills to get the overdrive.
Away with elbow, a sharp word, flick of the wrist, and it's job done.
Wow.
Oh man, that gives me chills.
Wow.
Trent looks stunned at what just happened. That was a 5 versus 3 advantage for G2.
Wow.
Oh, buddy.
Wow.
Gotta be a tense timeout for G2. Even around 24, they looked a little bit shaken, especially after the Jorgamo foray didn't work. How are they feeling right now? You think some of the narrative coming into this game was that the stress was off them a little bit. They've made Toronto, but it means so much to them to get such a big leg up. Clearly, this game is one they are so hungry to win, but they have let, bit by bit, brick by brick, MIBR build back into this game. And now, they're one round away from taking it and going 2-0.
Oh my
G2
god.
taking a moment to just
G2
calm themselves
might
down a
choke.
bit, let the
They just might go ahead and
frustrations ease out of
choke.
their minds from that last round, knowing you were in position to have that
50
13-12
push-ups,
lead, to be
50.
one round away from getting to that third map, tying up the series 1-1. But now they are on the precipice
Don't jinx.
of being one map away from knocked out in third place. MIBR could get this series up to a 2-0 lead if they can convert this one defensive
Lotus is
round.
Aspas's map, huh?
Aspas forward on Mount, but he's got two other players to back him up, other crossfires to hold. Relay ball thrown out, and man, the correction is stunning.
Oh my god, just wait.
Completely unhinged, but Artazine, the safe pair of hands, they're willing
Imagine
to
he got a
trade.
second.
He made a correction. I don't think he could see a thing. He just knows.
This
he
1v1 is the
locked
round.
in. Verno is controlling.
Verno
all of-
pushing?
Hey, Leaf
Oh.
in these situations have been so aggressive,
Fuck.
but he's been getting shut down this time. Is Verno the one getting too
Oh
aggro?
my
Yes, he
God.
is. Leaf bides his time, finds the kill. And now 2 rounds in OT in a row. It's G2 with a man advantage heading into the post plant. They have to get this done. They have to.
Aspas was
convert.
full blind on
this
his first
time-
kill, was he?
MIBR are without their star player. Aspas fell after that kerfuffle on Mound. So Shannon and Artazine have got to bring the heat.
Those guys are looking like number 2 and 3 right now on the team, though, if we're being real. That is still a potent duo to go up against.
Guys, I think it's B.
No matter what your advantages are.
Crucially, Fault Line obviously off cooldown, and Artazine has both those flashes because he wasn't involved heavily in that first fight. Not in a position to really use that util anyway.
Hudson just has to use his fault line to try to get back into B main safely.
Viper.
because he needs to go through the door.
They're playing
Gems, though, just creeping up on
triple.
this line. All
broken?
G2 grouped here in Baby
Triple
Door.
Baby
And no one's
Door?
looking to wrap around. Snakebite here could be pretty rough as well. Artazine doesn't know if there's anyone upper. Paranoia comes. Oh, biting his two on the line. That's tough. And it's Shenham, 1 versus 3. Leap to step up first. The spacing's got to be perfect here for G2, but they've got the numbers, and Shenham doesn't feel
Lee
confident
said-
for a DQ.
Lee said, "Back up,
That's
I'll
right
handle
now, but
him."
there's more where that came from.
Oh, fuck.
That's 2. And still
That's
no
fine.
time to work with Valid knows
Damn,
it. It
son.
will fall.
Damn,
G2
son.
somehow survived the round.
That just ends up being a 3K for the stat sheet only.
He be hitting those
G2
shots, though.
playing to their advantage of time and numbers to close that
Yeah,
out
G2
in
played it well, G2
textbook
played it well.
fashion.
They played it well. They did play it well.
OT continues. That unbelievable round from
didn't see
Aspas going
Aspas's
up
kill,
in
fuck.
smoke.
Yeah, just a memory now. Just one for the
Nice
highlight
shot
reel.
from Jonah.
We have reset things. Now, I don't want to get ahead of myself, but Aspas in overtimes on Lotus, well, we had a record-breaking performance from him last year. 47 kills, the current America's kill record. And speak of the man.
So fast. Oh my god, he's still going.
Oh my goodness! Jonah
Dude!
There's only so far the
Wait,
insanity
was
can
that
go.
Aspas?
Apparently
I thought I was
there's
watching
still a player-
Jogamo.
Oh, I say that.
I don't know why I thought I was watching
Player
Jogamo.
advantage
That was
dissipates
Aspas.
very quickly.
Jogamo's on Yoru, but still, it felt like I was
Verno
watching Jogamo play.
Always finds himself in
That
this
felt
position.
like that's how Jogamo would move.
That's just the clone running forward. Has to clear out heaven, face towards Baby Door. Needs to get the spike
Why
down
is MIBR
against
throwing? Why not?
enemy Tejo. Currently, Trent doesn't
Retweet.
have those missiles, but they will be cycling back up soon.
Still a minute to figure this out.
I got a point
All
though.
the util that Verno was going to have this round is back on deck. Really, what are you supposed to do? The economic side of saving.
Yeah, everyone who says
not a
Aspas
factor
base is
here
in
in
shambles
overtime,
right
and it's
now.
something Verno
Because he's
normally
literally
opts for.
running it down.
In these situations, he just holds the weapon.
Is there any universe Verno can 1v3 them?
Jaws
Any
ball.
universe, 35 seconds, 1 guy's on flank.
Verno's
Spike down B, 2 guys baby door.
He's allowed for a lot of time.
Verno, prove to
30
us
seconds left.
30 to play. The spike's been known
why you're him.
by G2, so no risk of them just
Let me
drifting
see
off
what
to
you
other
got.
parts of the map.
20 seconds, bro.
He's
Any day now.
really hoping that someone on G2 would overplay this situation. And
Go
show
see, bro.
themselves
If you hear
it's
me,
not
go
going
see.
to happen, and it's resulted in time just dwindling
All right, bro.
so
10
low
seconds,
for
bro.
him.
No time here at all, really. Got to push into this
All
fight,
right.
and it's taken down.
Nice try? Question mark? Nice try,
Foregone
smile.
conclusion. Takes us another minute to realize it, though. And now G2 get themselves
Switching
ahead.
sides.
Win that defense side round
Match point.
to convert now for the map.
Go, go, go.
Aspas was going crazy on this entry. That first kill onto Jonah was so sick. But then, yeah, just in the blink of an eye, you're talking about them having man advantage, and suddenly G2 just peek from 3 different angles and get 3 different kills, and all of a sudden it's over. I mean, even Fraud, you see his face there. That's the exact moment where he realized everybody died in an instant. It's like, what just happened? And that was my reaction too. All right, G2 won.
And a characteristic 3-player mound fight setup. This time G2 don't want to test. The stakes, perhaps a little too high. They'll counter smoke out the one way. Head for pastures green. That's the A side, which looks like Stardew Valley by comparison. It's just Verno.
Gets the stun onto Trent, but ultimately very irrelevant. He is going to be under a lot of pressure and knows he just needs to get out of here.
He's playing off. It's good.
Sneon up and sees those salvos come in. Leap will surely follow them up, and Verno on the move. Still buddy!
Down A.
Rips them apart. Cortesia does drop Spike. Out there on the A side, though, loose as Verno gets it dropped. And now Artisan's here to back him up. Fallon is tucked. Now it's a waiting game as they might be able to flood back in. It hurts them. It works against them. It's up to Verno.
What just happened?
The Spike's headed away. It's been recovered. And again, Verno has to clutch this time to save the map.
The whole team showed up to support Verno, but then they just did too much. They already had the advantage. Forced G2 to make the move. They wanted to end that round right in that moment, but it's left Verno, who was the hero at the beginning of this, finding that 2K.
It's so hard.
In a nearly impossible situation against Trent, who has missiles and the Armageddon at his disposal.
GG.
Surely that is too much to ask for. Surely that is too much. Verno here.
The plant spot is crazy too.
Gives it a tap and the Armageddon is expected. Verno lingers, hoping someone plays off of it. It's G2 after all. There's no way that's happening. Time getting shorter. Salvos here at the foregone conclusion. A deterministic round. And
it's not
map
cringe,
win
it's
here
G2,
for G2.
bro.
Verno can only await his fate. It's signed and sealed. G2 take their map.
Trent coming up so huge in that last round to get them 3 kills, bring them over the finish line. MIBR were in prime position to keep that OT going, but they overplayed the situation, and the Tejo from G2 punished them for it. He ends up with 28 kills on the map out of nowhere. Trent tops the board for their team. Aspas with a sick performance, even for his standards, but it just wasn't enough. G2, they took 1 loss on Lotus. They got knocked down, but they got right back up. This still looks like it is just their go-to home map. The way they play defense is phenomenal.
And it all starts with that slick pistol. This jump shot from Aspas was pretty absurd. But by and large, it was a first half where G2 were able to punish, were able to exploit. Jorgama with stopping power like this made it really hard for Aspas to be successful as an attacker. Drawn out that first half. It was really difficult. But of course, MIBR, they break back. That second half comes in and they win the pistol. And we've seen this before. They start to run away with these rounds. Ridiculous clutch moments now. A really competitive map. This is going to be a great series from here on out.
Yeah, looks like we're on for a 5-map banger, if I'm being honest. I don't want to get too ahead of myself, but these first 2 maps have been incredible. And you still just have to respect MIBR for even pushing G2 to their absolute limit on Lotus.
Stay locked to this channel, folks. If you bonkers go anywhere else, we're headed over to the desk to break down this map number 2, and then map 3 in a best of 5 for that spot in the finals will be coming up.
Wow. Wow. What's good, Ludwig? You trying to go to the spa?